are we today, guys? What's going on? Welcome back to the Midnight Cinema. I'm your host, Midnight, team leader of Alpha Team Alpha Wolf Squadron. Today, not today, this weekend, I was fortunate enough to finally get around to go seeing Everything Everywhere all at once. And let me tell you, this might actually be the best movie of the year so far. It hits on every single note, tugs on your heartstrings, makes you laugh, points where you might cringe, but it does it in a way that doesn't take you out of the movie. Everything serves a purpose to the film. And what I love about this movie, first of all, let's talk about what it's about. So the movie stars Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Lee Curtis, K. Ke Huy Quan, I believe, and Stephanie Sue, Jenny Slater. It's a great cast. Okay. And so Michelle Yeoh, the mom, she's going through some difficult times. She's miserable. She's not happy. She's overrun with like her taxes on the business, and she has to go get this audit done. On top of that, her husband seems to possibly be divorced. Well, divorcing her. And at the same time, she's dealing with an estranged daughter. Her daughter's gay, and her mom's not really having. She's not really receiving her at the moment. And so it also causes this further tension because the daughter already felt pushed away so much because of the things that she had to do as a kid as far as school and growing up and living up to certain standards, and she just felt like she could never meet what her mom wanted her to be. And you jump into this grand adventure pretty much inside the multiverse after having a weird conversation with her husband, who's her husband from another universe, in an elevator. uh, and they jump through the multiverse, showing like her different lives and how the multiverse in a way works in a more realistic aspect, in a way that I would think that I've actually thought about, that they've explored, where it's like every tiny minute decision that you make could be a key difference in your life elsewhere in a different universe. And it's so deep because it's like, well, all these, they play it like all these universes are happening at the same time, and you're also kind of, you're living your life in different aspects, seeing how your life could have been. And I thought it was really well done. I enjoyed seeing how that aspect of it was explored. I enjoyed the thematic elements of, knowing your limits, and then knowing that, you can always do more to push yourself beyond where you think you can go. And you may wonder about things like, because you only get this one. And you may wonder about things like, well, what dreams you could have had, or what things you could have been doing if you hadn't made certain mistakes, if you didn't, you know, uh, let's say if you didn't follow this person and get your heart broken, if you didn't go to that school and you went to a different school, if you played one sport opposed to another. I mean, so many, just, even if, like, the brand, down to the brand of toothpaste you might have, could affect the difference in your life in some ways. And I loved it. I love every last aspect of what they were teaching in this. The direction was off the chain. Acting was top notch. Absolutely. I encourage everybody to definitely go see this. Michelle Yeoh, she kills it. Stephanie Sue, loved her performance as the daughter. She's gonna be a star. Excuse me, guys. I'm kind of. It's been a long day. Kind of wheezing a little bit at the one. I need my inhaler. I'll get to it. But you know, allergies. It's terrible. So when I say like this is a movie that I think everybody should see, I truly do mean that. The story can be, if you're not really paying attention, it can get confusing for a while. But if you enjoy the multiverse, if you enjoy learning things like that, it hooks you in. It'll definitely hook you in, and you can follow from there. I think, like, because of the way it starts off, the movie does start off a bit slow, and I like that because it leads right into that buildup of what we're going to get later on, and it just never loses pace. It's split in three parts, and I love the how they did it with the title. You know, like part one was everything, part two is everywhere, part three is all at once. And just seeing I really want to get into spoilers, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to ruin the experience for anybody else. I want you to go and see this. Maybe I'll make a spoiler video for this movie, but I definitely want to see it again. This deserves repeated viewings on a regular basis. And like I said, the themes, they really stick with you, like the true meaning of love, and how you can maybe sometimes you feel like the person that you're with might not be what they are, but maybe you have to look at yourself and see, well, what's going on with me that this person is willing and caring so much to be with me for so long while I'm going through these things, but I'm only seeing what's got me stressed out in this little box, not realizing that what I do also affects everybody else. And because of how the movie is and how she has to actually save the multiverse, because it's like it's no longer just you in this little box. It's about everybody else everywhere else as well, and what they're dealing with, what they're going through. How can you combat that? How can you learn from different aspects of your life scattered over multiple universes in order to apply that to your own and do what you have to do to become successful? And I thought that was really interesting. I think that this could be an Oscar contender next year. I kid you not. The script was phenomenal. Script was phenomenal. Definitely got plenty of laughs. And I mean, it definitely gets really funny. It's a lot of dark humor, a lot of slapstick, a lot of that weird cringe comedy, but it's so well done, and it's sprinkled with those dramatic moments to cut up the tension, and just just go see this movie. Just go see this movie. I really do believe that you'll love it. I believe that you'll enjoy it. Well, like I said, everything that stood out to me, what really stood out to me were the themes. I mean, there were points in times where I was tearing up watching the movie. Definitely points in times where I was tearing up quite a bit because it's just one of those things, and that's why I always say, or I feel like, and I agree with the sentiment that movies are meant to be experienced in a theater. And this was a movie that definitely feels like when you watch it, there are things about you that you want to change, things in your own life that you would want to change, or how you would want to be different. I mean, think about it like this. If you ever need a movie when you're down, watch this. Seriously. If you ever need a movie when you're down, watch this because it'll pick you right up and it'll tell you, like, look, you have all the time in the world. Sort of kind. Well, you don't really have all the time in the world, but in a way, like, treat your life like you have all the time in the world because you already know it's so limited. But do the things, not be foolish, but do the things that you want to do. Live your passions. Whatever goals you have, go attain them. Seriously, and it's like I couldn't have watched it also at a better time because there's also a lot of graduations going on at this time. Everybody who's recently graduated should go see this. Seriously, because life will kick you in the behind, but it's a matter of how you continue to push on. How can you learn from those mistakes that you made and use that to develop your own personal inner growth? Because that's the impact. That's the great things about movies like this, the impact that it leaves you with. And I think that because of the impact that it left for me, I believe that this is why people are going to go see it again and again. And people have gone to see it again and again. Now, I think in like its fifth week, it got a 2% uptick in the box office, which is completely unheard of. Like, usually a movie drops off each weekend, but it went back up slightly. People keep going to see it. I honestly think that this is a movie. It has the weirdness. If you've ever seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it has that kind of weirdness, but it explains the themes that it's trying to get across in a very understanding way. It'll be kind of complicated, but it's just like it's complex on its surface, but deep down it's really simple. It's just using fantastical elements and things you wouldn't even think about on how to do it. I mean, there's so much that's just done right with this. I mean, when you really watch this movie, you'll see even things, objects in the background. Okay, there'll be certain things placed in the background that they'll come around and talk about later on in future reference, or like a small thing that they'll allude to that comes and plays a role later on in the story. I love that. Like peep that when you go see this. Watch that. Like look at those finer details as well, because that's also another thing. Every little small detail matters. That's what it is. So guys, um excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm congested today. But I just wanted to share this review with you guys. Wanted to see what you all think after you go watch this. I'll do a spoiler review. I do want to see this again. I think I'll do a spoiler review after I witness it again, and then I'll go ahead and share this. And please enjoy this. I mean, seriously, it's a great movie. I cannot sing its praises enough. I really cannot. I can't. I simply cannot. I can't explain. I can't praise this movie enough. Go see this movie. It will change you and your outlook on life. So let me know what you guys think of the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in to the Wolves Midnight Podcast, my podcast that I have on Anchor FM, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Pocket Podcasts. Follow me on Instagram at the Midnight Cinema 41. Follow me on Twitter at the Outlawed Mime. Okay, guys, remember this was a great time. I'll also be doing a Chip and Dale review tomorrow, so that'll be exciting. That's a very different movie from what we saw with this, but definitely was a good weekend just to watch film. Honestly, it was a good weekend to watch film. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and remember, one pack, one nation, one smooth how. Midnight out, guys. Love y'all. Be safe. Enjoy your evenings. Okay.